Hi, everyone, and happy Wednesday. My name is Ansley Franco, and I'm a reporter at Missouri Business Alert, and I'll be your host for today's discussion. For those of you who are new to Missouri Business Alert, we are a digital publication that provides top business news from across the state. We also host events, like this one, as a resource for the business community in Missouri. Today, we'll be looking at how historical and current gender and racial disparities affect women business owners despite a notable rise in women-owned businesses nationwide. A Wells Fargo report from January noted that women business owners have been driving economic growth over the past few years. During the pandemic, women-owned businesses added over 1 million jobs and close to a $580 billion in revenue to the economy. Still, women own fewer businesses than men, and their businesses do not generate as many jobs or as much revenue. Before we get into the conversation, I'd like to read a quick word from the sponsor of today's event, Harpo's. Discover the perfect blend of ambiance at Harpo's, where you can transition from the classic sports bar atmosphere to an upscale cocktail experience. With the recent addition of The Landing, a versatile event space ideal for everything from birthday celebrations to corporate gatherings, Harpo's offers a historic legacy and unforgettable event experience. Remember The Landing at Harpo's for your next event. Throughout today's conversation, we want to hear from you. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the chat of this Facebook Live. We'll be watching the chat, and we will have time to get to those questions. For today's conversation, I am joined by Jayme Prenger, the director of the Missouri Women's Business Center. The group works to empower women through skill building, training, and networking opportunities. Prenger has 20 years of experience in nonprofit and corporate management, program administration, and community development. Jayme, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So I would want to start with some context. From your perspective, what has been the landscape for women-owned businesses during and following the pandemic?
I think it's one of those things where, really COVID opened up opportunities for everyone to work from home, and women took advantage of that. And they were able to, be with their children and help them through schooling and things like that. And they were able to assist with whatever was going on at home and deal with those things, as well as work from home or side hustle. I don't know. We've all heard that women can multitask pretty well. So I think that's one of those advantages that we took advantage of.
As I mentioned earlier, growth of women-owned businesses has outpaced that of businesses owned by men in recent years. What are some of the factors that may have contributed to this?
I think that, everyone is wanting flexibility, but especially women need that. If you have a family, if you have other responsibilities, there are a lot of women that are my age that are, kind of in that sandwich era where they are taking care of their children and they're taking care of their parents. And so that flexibility is really needed. And so opening your own business offers that in a lot of ways, especially if you're able to do that as a side hustle. So, being able to, you know, make those opportunities happen, and women aren't afraid to ask questions and figure things out. So I think that's how we've made things work.
So what are some of the main challenges that the women business owners you work with are facing?
So again, time, women are pulled in so many different directions. That is definitely a barrier. So we try to help them with time management and things like that. There's, raising the capital. If you have a product or you need to design it, or even just paying yourself sometimes is a barrier. So, figuring out what that process looks like. I met with a client yesterday, and she doesn't have her own savings to be able to start working and growing her business. And so what are those other opportunities that she has? We offer a Kiva loan, which is a zero interest loan, And so we work with Kiva to do that for our clients, and it's a great opportunity for folks that are just getting started.
So you just mentioned this loan that you guys offer, but what other strategies have you helped women entrepreneurs employ to overcome networking barriers and establish valuable connections?
I do believe that networking is the key to success. Everything in life is about who you know and how hard you're going to work for it. And so we offer opportunities for women every Tuesday morning. We have a Zoom call, and a lot of times we have some of the same ladies that get on there and they're able to have great conversations. They encourage each other. They work, sometimes they refer business to each other. And so just building those relationships within our community of entrepreneurs at our center is huge and important for them.
Gotcha. So, how do historical gender expectations around caregiving and household responsibilities impact women entrepreneurs' balance of work and family life?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, there are more single moms now than there ever has been. And if you're a single mom and you have to work in order to put food on the table, how are you going to have time in your spare time, your quote, spare time to, be able to start a business because it's not an easy task. And so really helping women to figure out those different strategies, they're all going to be different. And so what works for one of our clients is not going to work for another. And so just really helping them to figure out what those are, what their strengths are, what they can outsource, who do they know with a connection that could help them, who do we know that we can connect them to, really helping them do it right the first time. Things like that are all ways that we help.
And how does the experience of being a woman business owner differ for women of different racial or ethnic backgrounds?
I think that in every experience that you have, there are generational circles that happened. And if your mom was a teacher and can traditionally, it was like my mom was a teacher, so I'm going to be a teacher. My dad was a pilot, I'm going to be a pilot. Those kinds of things happen. And if you've never thought about owning your own business, sometimes that's really hard. And so there are definitely our clients that we serve that have never even thought about this, but they've got one little tiny idea and they're like, is this even possible? And so helping them with the right tools, helping give them the right experiences and the right opportunities, all of that helps. And it doesn't matter what your race is, everyone faces different challenges. But like I said before, we take this on a case by case basis and we want to help everyone reach their full potential in entrepreneurship.
Gotcha. So, how do you think that representation of women business owners in the mainstream media has impacted, like local Missouri women who want to pursue business and they're now seeing that it is possible?
Knowledge is power, right? And so if you know more, then you can do more. And so women are being encouraged by the news and the media around women entrepreneurship. And the more we talk about it, the more mainstream that becomes. And then we have more women who believe that that's a reality. And so that helps.
We do have an audience question. It is, how do single moms get away from the view that makes them feel like they aren't smart enough to start their own business?
That is so hard, and working through mindset is something that we help with. Um, you know, that is hard it's hard to be a mom, but it's hard to be a single mom, and it's hard to then start a business, and it's hard to be a single mom who starts a business. And so when you start stacking all of those things, those become barriers. And so that's our whole goal, is to remove barriers and provide opportunities and resources for entrepreneurs here in Central Missouri. And so it's one of those things where it takes that specific situation and working one-on-one with a coach to try and remove those barriers and to help them and to think through, like that different mindset.
And are there alternative hiring practices or workforce development initiatives that can help women owned businesses overcome these hiring challenges?
So I would say that like hiring challenge, a majority of our clients that we work with are either sole proprietors and they're running their business on their own, or they have a small amount of employees. And so I think that women, women can provide a lot to the workplace, and they have a lot of experiences and knowledge that we need to be able to tap into, but we have to listen. And so we have to think outside the box. And so just because a woman has maybe been a stay-at-home mom for the last 15 years and now her kids are all in high school, that doesn't mean that she doesn't have some skills of accounting or inventory control or schedule management. And so we have to think outside the box of what and how women can provide value to the workplace.
And what steps can women entrepreneurs take to expand their business and learn how to kind of go beyond their local market or region?
Yeah, again, I believe that the internet was out there way before COVID, but COVID really opened up that door for e-commerce, and a lot of businesses that provide websites and e-commerce platforms became more prevalent. They're easier to use than they were even just a couple of years ago. And so to get your business up on Etsy or to start your own website, things like that, to go beyond your local market is a lot easier than it was before. And again, I think that having a coach that you meet with on a regular basis to talk through that helps you to be able to move into whatever your dreams and hopes are and get those action steps down so that you are working towards your goals, which are individuals to you.
And are there collaborative opportunities within the industry or community that women entrepreneurs can explore to enhance their market presence and competitiveness?
So the partnerships, there are so many resource partners in the state of Missouri. One of which I just met about a year ago. Her name is Lauren, and she's with Innovate Her in Kansas City. So again, they focus on women entrepreneurship and building them and empowering them, women. And then there are 4 women's business centers in the state. So it's not just us here in central Missouri, but there is 3 other women's business centers that, serve women in the state of Missouri. So definitely tapping into those resources so you can expand your knowledge is huge for all women.
And so, going into Missouri Women's Business Center, what services does the center provide for women entrepreneurs?
So we offer networking opportunities, trainings, like I said, one-on-one coaching. We have fundraising events where you can come and support other entrepreneurs in our community. We have a program called the Fast Track Business Academy, which is through the Kauffman Foundation out of Kansas City, which is a 13-week program that we're running. It'll start here in April. We have Tuesday mornings on Zoom, which is professional development, and it's called Caffeinated Minds. And like I said, it's on Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. We have a newsletter where we put grants and opportunities in there. And then just the one-on-one coaching is huge. And then we're helping with the program called the Shops at Sharpened. And, we are a program of Central Missouri Community Action and in partnership with Ready in the Downtown District. And that's a retail incubator that we're helping with down there. So
That's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit more about what these Tuesdays look like on Zoom?
really it's a fun group of ladies. And like I said, there's several of them that attend regularly. So they've built that relationship and that network. It's a different topic each month and then a different presenter each week. And so It's a great time to come together. There's somebody that comes in and talks for about 30 minutes on a specific topic. This month it's on marketing and social media. And so coming up on Tuesday, we have somebody that's doing like Canva 101. So like the basics of Canva, how to get started with that, what's free, what do you have to pay for, what are some templates you could use and things like that. So it's a different topic each week, but there's plenty of opportunity for question and answer. And then again, that networking piece.
Very cool. So, how many women do you think you could say averagely join this Zoom?
On Tuesday mornings, we have somewhere between 10 and 20 women that get on there. This past Tuesday, we had Sarah Jane Photography on, and she was the presenter, and she was able to share about how to take your picture for social media, how to make it like movement so that the algorithm picks it up as like it's a video. She talked through some different staging techniques and lighting and different things like that, what to take pictures of, what makes it more appealing, all of those different things. And we had 17 people on there this week. So it was a great session.
That's awesome. So, how does someone become a client of the Missouri Women's Business Center?
We have a new client form on our website, mowbc.org. And you fill that out and you'll be contacted 24 to 48 hours later. And, we'll get you signed up and walk you through that. We have an orientation that everyone goes through. It kind of explains all of our resources and who our partners are, things like that. And that way you have a really good understanding of things. We get you signed up to our private Facebook group and to our newsletter. So you're all connected to all the things that are happening at the Women's Business Center.
And what kind of businesses do your clients hold and operate typically?
Oh, they are all over the board. We have women's business center clients that are landscapers. We have some who are, life coach, or we have a marketing company. We have a couple of boutiques. We have several hairstylists, childcare providers. All over the board, we have different clients. So.
Great. So, we have a few more questions from the audience. The first being, what types of businesses do you recommend for women who are juggling other responsibilities like caring for children or family members?
So I would recommend a business that you would be able to do as a quote side hustle. And I recommend that you would have one that you don't have to have like a storefront or something like that, which would need your full attention for periods of time. So you would be able to, come back and forth to that. Again, we have like a life coach. A life coach could schedule those appointments around her family's needs. If you have like a boutique or you have a hair salon or a childcare provider, you're going to need to have a structured schedule, and so you wouldn't be able to work that around some of your family needs. So I would say that a lot of services can do that. If you had a marketing company and you could help with something like that, you could work that around, and flexibility. If you needed to work late into the evening because you weren't able to work during the day and work on a project, you could do that and then still produce that to your client on time.
Great. And what skills do you recommend new entrepreneurs learn before trying to launch their businesses?
So we believe in doing things right the first time. I know that there's been so many of our clients that were like, oh, I wish I would have known this before I did XYZ. So trying to really help them through the process so that things are happening the correct way the first time, even just setting up your sales tax the right way, or registering your business the right way, or all those different things. There's so many pieces that go into getting your business started. So that's why we created the Getting Your Business Started class. It really walks you through all those different pieces and how to set up your bank account, how to get your EIN, all of those things.
And how can people best support women entrepreneurs?
Everyone has seen buy local stickers. That really is one of the best ways. Are just buy from them, support them, encourage them, promote them, give them a review on Google or on Facebook, making sure that you talk about your support of these local businesses. Right now today I have a shirt on from a local boutique, and then I have shoes on from a different one. And so being able to, promote that. So when my husband did buy me these shoes from one of the local boutiques, I posted about that on Facebook, and I made sure that I tagged that business in there so that all of my followers then see that I've got these really cute shoes from a local boutique.
Great. We have another question from the audience, which is, how do you recommend marketing a business as woman owned?
So, I think that there are a couple different ways that you can do this. Um, but you really need to know what your target market is before you start just going out and advertising in general. If your target market is women, then you can use yourself as the person to say, like, I'm a female and I can wear the clothes. If I'm a boutique, I can wear the clothes and I can model those and I can talk about this and I can say support, women like me. I think you can use those examples. But again, it's going to go back to your target market. It's a little bit trickier if your target market would be, a 17-year-old male and you're trying to target it as women owned. Like, do the 17-year-old males really care that you're women owned or whatever? So it really goes back to your target market.
Gotcha. And what advice would you offer to aspiring women entrepreneurs in Missouri who are encountering challenges during the initial stages of starting their business?
Reach out for help. There is so much help in this state, but you have to ask and you have to work for it. So if you need to take a break, that's not a big deal at all. But stay after it and make sure that you ask for help. So, meeting with a coach one on a regular basis, even if you don't even know what you're doing or why you're doing it, having that continual contact with a coach who will help walk you through the process is going to be very pivotal in the success of your business.
Great. Well, Jayme, thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, like, we're definitely here to help. We don't work with only women. Even though we are a women's business center, we are powered by the SBA through a grant. And, there's over 150 women's business centers across the country, and we're fortunate to be one of them. And like I said, there are 3 other women's business centers that serve the state of Missouri. And so we're happy to be here. We have 8 counties that we cover in central Missouri, and we want to help everyone that we possibly can. So please reach out.
Well, thank you again for taking the time to share your perspectives today and speaking with me.
All right. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. And thanks so much to everyone who watched and tuned in as well. If you want to keep up with everything else Missouri Business Alert is doing, you can check out our daily email newsletter, The Morning Minutes. It delivers the day's top business news from across Missouri to your inbox, Monday to Friday. You can also subscribe to that for free at MissouriBusinessAlert.com/subscribe. You can also keep up with us on our website, MissouriBusinessAlert.com. Thanks again and have a wonderful weekend.